Hello everyone, I am Dr. Christine Owinyi and I work with the Ministry of Education at Kenya Education Management Institute. I am here to talk about education for sustainable development. In short, we call it ESD. What is ESD? What is education for sustainable development? We are talking about education that will enable us meet our needs today without compromising the ability of the future generation to meet their own needs. So that is what education for sustainable development is. What things are we doing today that as we do them, we are able to manage our own lives? And as we do them, we are not compromising the ability of our children's children to meet their own needs in the future. Probably that time you will not be there. Probably that time they will be alone. How will they manage to live without thinking about, if mama was here, she could have done this. If baba was here, he could have done this. So that is all about education for sustainable development. So education for sustainable development has got to do with three aspects. That is the economic dimension, the social dimension, and the environmental dimension. So as we look around the world, in fact, there is an African proverb that says that we do not inherit the world from our ancestors, but we borrow it from our children. So in essence, everything that we are doing in the world, in our minds, back there, we should be thinking about how will this benefit the future generation. If at all the things that I'm doing today are going to affect the future generation negatively, what can I do about it? And so that brings in the principles of education for sustainable development. We have 5 principles. The first principle is learning to know. Learning to know has to do with getting the information, getting the knowledge. The second principle is learning to be, associating with what you are knowing or what you are learning, being yourself, having everything get to you through the heart, learning to do, getting down to do things, using your own hands, because by using your own hands, you'll be able to make a difference in the society. And the fifth principle is learning to live together. Education for sustainable development is about learning to live together. How can we live together as a community of people, of animals? How can we live together with the plants that God has blessed us with? How can we live together with the air, with the soil, with the space, everything? How can we live together with animals in water? Essentially everything that affects us as human beings. And the fifth principle is learning to transform oneself and the society. So that is what we are going to talk about when it comes to education for sustainable development, transforming oneself and the society. It is not about, I want to make this change for others. You have to start with yourself so that by doing it, the others can have a role model among them. So transforming yourself, the things that you're doing, you are transforming yourself, and in the process, you are transforming the society. You'll have to involve 3 aspects: the head, the heart, and the hands. The head stands for information, knowledge that you can get in books, that you can get when you are listening to me like you're doing. But getting beyond, we are saying you get to the heart. So bring what you have learned down to your heart, so that whatever you have learned will get a relationship with you. You create kind of a relationship and start developing passion, and even go beyond passion, go to grit, enjoy, so that when it comes down to the implementation, doing it using your own hands, it becomes so easy, it becomes so simple, you enjoy doing the work without feeling anything wrong. And as we talk about education for sustainable development, we will always find ourselves focusing on 7 R's of sustainability. The first R is refuse. If at all you have to think about the future, What things must you refuse? If something is wrong, we are saying, please say no to it. If it is not a no, then reduce. Yeah? If you cannot refuse completely, then reduce. For example, in our country, we are saying we want to do away with plastic containers, but it has become very difficult to really do away with it. How can we then reduce on having so many of plastic containers in our country? Can we go to the manufacturers? Can they reduce on having so many plastics and instead have something that can be good to the health of human beings? The third R is reuse. What is it that you can reuse? If you look around here, there is so much we have reused. We have reused waste tires. We have reused waste water bottles. We have reused plastics. You know, we are able to make use of waste to have something that we can make use of again. The fourth R is recycle. If you cannot reuse, then is it possible for that thing to be recycled? Like in our environment, what is there to be recycled? Is there green waste that we can recycle? Is there food waste that we can recycle? Oh yes, if you have that food waste, put it somewhere for a while, it will become organic manure, and if you put that organic manure in your plants, you will be able to have healthy food. The fifth R is repair. Instead of looking at it and throwing it away anytime your cloth is torn, instead of repairing, just take a needle and thread, repair it. You throw it away. And in your neighborhood, there is somebody who doesn't even have a cloth. Why can't you repair? If you don't need it, give it to somebody else. And then the sixth R is reconnect. As you think about all these things, reconnect with yourself. Reconnect with your inner self. Is what I'm doing right? How is it benefiting the society through me? If you're a Muslim, reconnect with Allah. If you're a Christian, reconnect with God. If you are a Hindu, reconnect with the God that you know that exists. Because in essence, human beings are spiritual things. Reconnect with the environment, reconnect with animals around, reconnect with trees, so that you don't just go cutting trees, not thinking about how am I affecting the future by cutting this tree. Reconnect with the birds. If I cut out this tree, it means the birds will not have a home. So reconnect with everything. Charlotte here has written hard work. Charlotte wants to grow hard work in herself. In that, anytime she comes to water this plant, she's not only watering the plant, she's actually watering hard work in themselves. So we've done this in very many schools. Like in Kenya, we have over 100 Education for Sustainable Development model centers. And these model centers are doing great things to impart values on the learners, to ensure that the learners are able to be competent, to embrace the 21st century skills, to help the learners become creative, become innovative, become critical thinkers, and in essence become problem solvers. So that is all about the R of reconnect with the society. And then the last R is rethink. Yeah, before I call it trash, can I recycle? Can I reuse? Can I repair? How can I reconnect this with the animals around? So those are the 7 R's. Refuse, reduce, reuse, recycle, repair, reconnect, and rethink. So we are going to talk about these things as we continue discussing education for sustainable development. And we are going to see so many things that people around the country in Kenya are doing. I want to request you to walk this journey with me so that we can transform the world, because education for sustainable development can transform the world. Thank you.